Success Insight shares the stories of the people with passion and drive who make things happen in the world. Here's your host, Howard Fox.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Mindset Monday with Andrée Martin on the Success Insight podcast. Andrée is our leadership, mindset, and golf performance coach. She is an LPGA Class A Life member and nationally recognized top 50 golf teacher and expert. She's a member of the Maine Golf Hall of Fame and a neuro-linguistic programming master certified coach. Recognizing golf's value as a business tool in today's competitive marketplace, Andrée works with individuals, groups, and corporate or organizational clients to create educational and team-building programs that enhance the professional success of aspiring executives. Andrée, so good to have you back on another episode of Mindset Monday on the Success Insight podcast.
Thanks, Howard. Always great to be with you and to share more and more ways to increase mindset to help everybody with their performance, be it sport, business, and life. And I'm excited about this week's podcast.
I love it. So what's in store for us today?
Well, the topic today is the 10 steps all leaders need to outmaneuver the competition.
Very good.
We're going to step ahead.
All right.
And outmaneuver the competition. So I want to share a quote from Warren Buffett. And you think about it, how are we going to outmaneuver? And I found this very relevant and interesting at the same time. He said, because as we're headed into this recession, I've been thinking about ways to help everybody maintain a very strong mindset and really stay ahead of the game and your competition. And Warren Buffett said, the best thing to do in a recessive time is to become more productive. And it was as simple as that. And I thought, wow, that's pretty simple, insightful, and interesting. And I know my father always said, work hard, but that's not what he's saying. Become more productive. So let's get into these 10 steps leaders need to outmaneuver their competition. First one is you need to have the ability to move quickly and decisively. There's a speed piece here. You need to be speedy in your planning and your execution. You need to have that ability to excel at what you do. You've got to move quickly, decisively, plan and execute speedily. Number 2, you need to have the ability to shift course quickly and be nimble. And when I think about it and relate it to golf, I'm exhaustingly telling people to relax. Well, the first one was all about being quick and decisive, yes. But your planning, your execution, and then as you're needing to shift course, it's kind of like the backswing of the forward motion, or better yet, you had a bad round, now you're shifting into a good round. You've got to be very nimble, and you've got to demonstrate agility and become more innovative. So you've got to relax into all of this to shift the course quickly. You've got to relax to act nimbly. And to become more innovative, agile is moving back and forth and really becoming aware of the big picture and then dialing in on the smaller picture. And that takes us to number 3. You need to gather and interpret information of the customers' markets and your competitors so that you are ready for a constantly changing landscape. And it takes me to, and then I immediately thought, Howard, there's an old coal ship, it's ages old, at the beach I grew up. Mm-hmm. And you get mad and you can, but then you got to go with the shifting sands. One year you can dive off the ribs of this ship, and then another year it's almost all covered up. And there's nothing you can do about the tide coming in and out, but how can you shift and enjoy it and take a look at what it has to offer now and keep moving forward? And that can have all kinds of interpretations by our listening audience, folks, but you've got to be able to go with the flow. And that's part of being nimble and agile, but it's also part of gathering your information. What are the ocean sands doing now? And how is that affecting the beach? How is that affecting the landscape? How is that affecting how everything is going to come in and go out at the same time? Number 4, information is power. You've got to know and do your homework, know the competition, and you also need to find gaps in the marketplace, right? Do you have your niche? What is your niche? I thought about that for myself, and I really have been able to use sports, and I love all sports. So I don't just use golf when I'm working with clients, because everybody has a different interpretation and love of different sports, and it's a great way to create stories and conversations so that whatever the client needs, it's delivered to them. My niche in the golf world has been transfer. How do you transfer what you're learning on the range and do it on the golf course, do it on the field? It's the only sport I know that's not taught on the golf course. Well, I've shifted that. I've gotten very good at teaching people how to strategize and play their best with a strong mindset on the golf course. So how can you uniquely find your niche in your business, folks, to the listening audience out there? And what do you need to do to tweak what you offer? What do you need to move or create in the positions that you have within your company to become number one and really great at what you do? Carve that niche for yourself. Number 5 is communication. Howard, we know communication is pretty much everything.
Yep.
It goes from the top down, the leaders, all of you leaders, folks, you impact everybody. They really pay attention to everything you do. It's not just your words. I've always been aware of it's your moccasins. So are you doing what you're saying you're going to do?
Doing what you say you're going to do.
And is it in integrity? Mm-hmm. And are you communicating that clearly, accurately, and ethically? As new needs evolve and change, as circumstances change, there still needs to be clear, accurate communication, ethically executed. Number 6, good leaders delegate effectively. Last week, I talked about turning your weaknesses and building your dream team. That applies here as well. You're going to outmaneuver the competition when you build strength in your team and have the agility and speed to be able to delegate to those that have the strengths to do the things that need to get done in the moment, in your short and long-term planning, and be able to shift as you need to moving forward. Number 7 is understanding the new needs that come up. Create and innovate new solutions. Might be new programs, might be new packaging to meet those needs. Understanding new needs is also maintaining and commanding great customer service. Ties in with the communication. But yes, technology is growing exponentially, but those who have great customer service will lead the game. Sure. And deliver strong products, quality products, obviously, as well. Number 8, be willing to ShapeShift. Versus standing still or following what, quote unquote, we've always done, right? And that, I think, COVID has changed all of us for the better in that regard. There's a lot of things we can really thank COVID for, and I think I'll I'll add that in my next podcast around sports, business, and life. But for today, number 9, new world, new normal. Things are ever changing. And while a lot of folks don't like change, we are forced to change whether we liked it or not. We're forced to do it, but be safe. A lot of companies and a lot of you out there with whether it's a large company, solopreneur, entrepreneur, all of us had to create a new culture or strengthen the culture that we had in a way that it nurtures and educates new. How are you challenging your employees to keep going out there and get creative? What skill sets are needed? What motivates the desire in your employees to want to do more for you as you lead the way to success? What are you doing to create and empower and grow ideas coming from them as well as yourself? It makes me think of creative shop making. Creative shop making, at one point, I had a lot of college coaches coming to me for ideas, and I was sitting with Sally Austin, who at the time was the women's golf coach at University of North Carolina. And she said, yeah, shot making, creative shot making is a lost art. Kids are all hitting it straight. But then you look at the golf courses that were in both the US Open and the British Open, that took a lot of creative shot making, one shot at a time. And how is that needed in your businesses? There's constant emerging ideas. We'll continually create an environment that welcomes that versus stuffing that. This all helps outmaneuver the competition with opportunity and being prepared, committed, knowledgeable to pivot and move quickly and decisively. You can really execute great things. And in number 10, teamwork does make the dream work and succeed. So prepare, play to win, and go for the gold without selling for silver.
Love it. Teamwork makes the dream work. All right. In it to win the gold. Excellent.
Absolutely.
10 great steps to take, and really they all make a lot of sense, very good sense. And as you were heading off on this list, I was thinking of COVID, because it was a very sad state of affairs in our country, around the globe. Mm-hmm. But the companies and the leaders, the teams inside the companies that followed these steps were the ones that were the most successful. And one of the clients that I work with, I mean, they pivoted in a matter of days, weeks, for the sake of argument, and to be up and running and to support not only their customers to still provide a fantastic customer experience, but also to make sure their staff was also safe and also able to continue doing the work that they were doing. And I think even if we are going to head into another recession, okay, we don't like that, we don't want it, but right. the organizations that are nimble and can follow these steps and change course and do
and
what
nurture nurture that change is a good thing.
Yeah.
And it's necessary for success.
I love it.
It creates a new normal. Maybe you can use that word, but it's more that change is good.
Yeah. Change is definitely a new normal, and change, like you say, yes, it can be good. Perfect. Well, thank you, Andrée.
Awesome. My pleasure, Howard.
And if our listeners would like to learn more about you and your work, where are the best places for them to go?
Best places to go is my website, www.andreegolf.com, and that's Andrée with 2 E's. And I have Facebook and LinkedIn presence. I also am on Instagram, and I have a YouTube site, Andrée Martin Golf.
Excellent. Well, we will provide all the backlinks to the website and to your social site. So thank you very much. And another great episode of Mindset Monday on the Success Insight podcast. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you, Howard.
All
Always
right.
a pleasure.
Okay, folks, we have just completed another episode of Mindset Monday with Andrée Martin on the Success Insight podcast. And in this episode, Andrée really kind of guided us through the steps. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. On this episode, Andrée guided us through the 10 steps all leaders need to outmaneuver the competition. And in this day and age, outmaneuvering, it all comes down to being agile, and it comes down to being able to, quickly assess what the landscape looks like, be quick and decisive, and then execute and make sure you've got good information, not only from the people, but also from your customers, all the while delivering great customer experience and continuing to grow. And really a great episode that brings home life out on the golf course and the great work that Andrée is doing as a golf professional, as well as what leaders can do in the working environment. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode and got a lot of insight and value out of these 10 steps. Now, you can find us on Success Insight Podcast on our website. We are also on Facebook and on LinkedIn, our Success Insight Podcast pages. And you can find us on any of the podcast directories, whichever one is your preferred directory, just by searching for Success Insight Podcast, and you will find us. Until then, go out there, have a wonderful day, take care of yourselves, your family, and we will see you on a future episode of Mindset Monday with Andrée Martin on the Success Insight Podcast. Take care now.